My name is Ember. I am a small business owner that got a loan with the Paycheck Protection Program. My loan, along with hundreds of thousands of other small businesses, my loan was not turned into a grant like it was supposed to if I spent the money correctly, which I did, according to the law. In going back and looking at some of my documentation, I found something interesting. I am not going to say why this occurred. I don't know. I'm just showing something interesting, and this is just kind of to show the inconsistencies that are still happening today. This is a screenshot. As you can see, it's a photo in my phone. Okay. And the date on this photo is, if I can get it to stop doing this. The date on this photo is October 22nd, 2020. And as you can see, version 1 of the SBA FAQs is listed as June 25, 2020. Now, I have an Android phone, and being that I have an Android phone, I can send this in two ways. I can send it as an image or a web link. So I'm going to send it both ways. What this means is that the URL where I screenshotted this from is embedded into the photo, into the metadata of the photo. So first I'm going to send this as an image to myself. And there, I got it. You can see it's the same photo. So now I'm going to go back to the actual photo, and I am going to send it as a web link. To me. And I got it. So now it's a web link where I screenshotted that exact photo. And when I open it, it is indeed SBA.gov website. Only now, version 1 lists a date of April 6th, 2020. This is an important change. There are 13 versions. As you can see, 13 versions now by the same date, June 25th. When did version 1 actually occur? I can't say for certain. What I can say is that this is a really important question, because if June 25th was the first release date, that was 2 months after funding had already been happening. And 2 months is the deadline that we had to give out that money. So if they were to have come out on June 25th, all of that money would have already been gone. So it doesn't really matter. And I don't think that we can be liable for rules and regulations that are coming out 2 months in the future when we've signed a contract. Now, that was the date on the SBA.gov website on October 22nd, 2022, just a few months ago. The URL that is embedded in that photo today, March 29th, 2023, a few months later, shows a different list with different dates. If that is the correct date, then that means that those FAQs came out before funding. So the date has changed from 2 months after funding to prior to funding, which is interesting. Why did that happen? I don't know. Was it an accident or on purpose? I don't know. I cannot say. I do not know how long either of those lists have been on the SBA.gov website, because I do not have a screenshot every day for the past 2.5 years. How long were those other dates listed? Where the June 25th date was the first version? I don't know. It could have been up there for a day, or it could have been up there for the past 2.5 years. Now, given the fact that there are so many problems in the CARES Act and with forgiveness not happening for so many people, and why, and the scouring of these SBA FAQs being thrown around for the past 2.5 years, if those dates were wrong that entire time, how could they have been wrong for 2.5 years? Why would they have been wrong for 2.5 years? Surely, the SBA themselves and Bank of America and lawyers and all of these people looking at them would have noticed. Now, on the flip side, if they did say April 6th for the past 2.5 years and then changed all of the dates for a day or two, and I happened to take that screenshot while those dates were changed, why were they only changed for a short time? So you see, there's all these unanswerable questions, none of which presents a very reasonable scenario. But undoubtedly, what it does tell us is that there are inconsistencies. We can rely on a lot of inconsistency in this program, in the information that is being set forth to us. Even to this day, 2.5 years in. As you can imagine, the changes that were occurring at the time that this was rolling out, there were thousands of them, hundreds or thousands, occurring daily. But with inconsistencies like these still changing to this day, we can't even, I find it hard to say that we're supposed to have been liable for things that were changing and are still changing when we can't get the correct information still. But regardless of what the date is, whether it's April 6th or June 25th for the version 1, number 17 in that version, in all of the versions actually, number 17 says, this is FAQ 17 in the SBA, on the SBA.gov website. Question: I filed or approved a loan application based on the version of the PPP interim final rule published on April 2nd, 2020. Do I need to take any action based on the updated guidance in these FAQs? So the question is, do I need to take action based on changing rules and regulations, based on updated rules and regulations? The answer is no. Borrowers and lenders may rely on the laws, rules, and guidance available at the time of the relevant application. So regardless of when all of these changes happened, most of which happened after funding, after our application, which lists that independent contractors are explicitly allowed to be paid in businesses, regardless of if anything was actually changed after our loans, the SBA themselves, and this is an SBA program, says that we may rely on the laws, rules, and guidance available at the time of the application. Now, is there a place that lists every single change that happened every single day to every single piece of legislation? I don't know. I find that highly doubtful. You would have to, look at the date for every single business and do some sort of like internal audit, which seems pretty daunting. But if that does exist, where is it? And can we look at it? But I think the main takeaway here is that there are so many inconsistencies in this program that disallow us to know what is real what is happening, what has happened, the dates that things have happened, why are they still changing? That's a big question. And I don't know the answer to that. I just know that they are. Thank you.